Welcome to Tech News Briefing. It's Friday, June 23rd. I'm Julie Chang for the Wall Street Journal, filling in for Zoe Thomas. You've probably come across some ads for tools that utilize artificial intelligence. Tech giants and tiny startups have been experimenting with generative AI since the rise of ChatGPT and other similar programs. With so many new AI-powered tools and many more on the way, we thought we'd give you a quick rundown on some useful apps currently out there, aside from the relatively well-known ChatGPT, Microsoft Bing, Dolly, and so forth. WSJ personal tech reporting assistant Cordilia James actually compiled a list of easy-to-try apps and websites. You can find that on WSJ.com. And she joins me now. Cordelia, before we get into specific programs, can you tell us how you went about selecting which apps to feature on your list?
I've been keeping up with all these different AI apps, all these different tools that have been rolling out over the past few months now. And I wanted to select those that were really widely accessible, as well as just like tools that are fun to use and that will be really enjoyable for people or just really useful to them, whether at home or in the workplace.
Okay, let's dive into some of them. You mentioned the workplace. I want to start there. What are some tools that could be helpful at work?
Yeah, so one of those tools include Grammarly Go. And so that one's really cool because it scans your email and will help summarize some kind of response that you can provide. And you can even tweak it to what kind of tone you wanted to say. So maybe, I don't know, if you're someone who usually apologizes a lot, like, oh, I'm so sorry about this, whatever, Grammarly Go can help you make that email seem a lot more assertive. So you don't even have to think twice about that. And then also Autopilot, which seemed really cool because, we spend so much time in meetings. Autopilot can automatically join your meetings and take notes for you, even including screen grabs from like presentation slides and other things like that. Sometimes it depends on your employer whether or not they will allow you to use these tools. So you might need to check in with them first.
Let's say you don't have a traditional office job. What if you're, say, a creator? What could be helpful there?
If you're a creator, there are two apps that could be useful to you. The Prime Voice AI by 11 Labs and Google Music LM. Those are two audio-oriented AI tools. And for those, really good for creators who would rather clone their own voice nor to say like a script for their videos. And then Google Music LM, if you just want to have some entry music for like a podcast or something, you can just type in a description like a romantic strings playing by a lake. And so then Music LM will come up with something that should sound like that.
And what if your work is school? Say you're a student, or like I consider myself a lifelong learner. What apps could you use for learning something?
Duolingo's role play feature as part of their Duo Max subscription. I've been using that for a while and I love it. I think it's one of my favorites. So essentially, there's a portion for Spanish and French learners where you're talking to a bot in the language that you're trying to learn. I know I was doing one in French and I didn't know what to say. I wrote it in French the best way I could have, saying like, I don't know how to respond. And they responded giving me suggestions as to like, oh, well, you could probably say this in French. You could say this. And so like it being able to keep up with you very well, even when you don't necessarily have the answers, was just super impressive. And then another one that I included that was education related was Khan Academy's Khanmigo. So that tool is especially helpful if you need some homework help or just want some more personalized learning lessons related to just a wide array of subjects. And Khanmigo won't give you the answer for it, but they'll give you hints.
Okay, let's move away from the more serious stuff and get into the fun stuff. Did you come across any apps for hobbies or just for entertainment?
Summer kicked off this week, and so people are booking for their summer travels, vacations. And so Expedia has like this in-app AI chat that can help you better organize some of your travel plans. If you're having a conversation with this chatbot, you could say, hey, like, where are some places I should stay in XYZ city? And it'll give you a list in that conversation, and then it'll go ahead and organize it in like a trip planning section of the app. That way, if you want to go and learn a little bit more about it, maybe even book it, you can do that directly in the app, which is really helpful. And then also, so this is one that I also use a lot, My AI from Snapchat. It's just really easy to just have this customizable thing in your pocket and then just ask them all kinds of questions, whether it's recommendations as to where you should go out for like a birthday dinner near you. Or I asked it once about like, how should I store some biscuits that I made because I didn't want them to go hard. And so those kinds of tools are just like super fun, super easy to use too.
So, what's on the horizon now? Is there anything we should be on the lookout for?
When I made this list, accessibility was really important in terms of how many people can use some of these tools. And so there are a few products that are currently in the works that I'm keeping my eye on, such as Duet AI from Google or Microsoft Copilot. Those are different tools that would use generative AI across your workspaces. So in that case, like it can integrate into your presentations and your documents and different things like that to help streamline work processes, as well as more of these text animation tools. Those are also just really fun to play with. And whether you're just a creator or just someone who's just curious, all kinds of really exciting stuff to look forward to.
All right, that was our personal tech reporting assistant, Cordelia James. And that's it for Tech News Briefing this week. We had production assistance from Anthony Bancy. Our supervising producer is Melanie Roy. Our executive producer is Chris Zinsley. And I'm Julie Chang, filling in for our host, Zoe Thomas. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend.